everyone, my name is Auntie Comfort. Today I'm going to tell you an African story titled 2.Kokodiko, the Dance Monster. Have you ever been discriminated against because others did not understand you? In today's story, you will see what happens to a village when they discriminated against two wonderful children of their own. Tohyo, ya, bo. Tohyo, ya, bo. Tohyo means I have a story to tell, and ya, bo means tell it quickly, we are listening. This story is from part of Nigeria in West Africa. A long time ago, there was a village called Lula in one of the thickest jungles of West Africa. These people lived peacefully in their jungles near the sea, and they were very happy. In the daytime, they either go to the market, to the farm, to anything, to the field. But in the evening, they all gather together around evening fires, listening to evergreen folk tales unfolding. They were very happy. However, they had one issue in the community that they didn't like. That is the issue of twin babies. They didn't like twin babies. Their belief was that these twin babies will bring them bad luck. We don't know why they had that idea, but that was their idea. So when anybody had twin babies, someone would go to them and say, you have to move you and your babies. The man, the woman, and the babies have to go to the evil forest because they feel that twin babies will bring them bad luck. One day, a man and his wife had a set of twin baby boys, very beautiful baby boys, and they named their babies Tawo and Tawa. But people quickly ran to them to quickly leave that village and go to the forbidden forest with their babies because the village forbade that. And the parents took their babies sadly and went to live in that forest. And another time came when something else came to bother them in their village. And they said people were seeing a monster who would force them to dance and dance as they go to the farm or to the market, to the river. The monster was disturbing them and killing many of them. And there was a day that the hunger was so much. These people now kept indoors because of that monster. One day, the women were brave enough because they had no food at home. They wanted to go to the market a little distance away from their village to go and buy food for their family. So the women banded together and they ran through the forest, the rivers, the mountains. They got to the market. They bought whatever they needed. Again, in the group, they started running back home. But just as they were about to come out of the forest that led to their home, the monster came out and just surprised them and said, dance. This monster was a dance monster. Everybody had been talking about it, and it said, dance to these women. And they started to dance. Kokodiko, kokodiko, kokodiko. That was the sound the monster made in its throat. It made guttural sound like that. Kokodiko, kokodiko. They danced and danced and danced until the women fell one by one and they passed out. Then the warriors of the village were very sad. They said, who or what is this monster? And why should we be afraid of it? They said, why should we be afraid of it? and we are going to the forest to get rid of it right now. And then they dressed in their war dress, and they took their shield, they took their bows and arrows and spears, and they started to march, to go to the forest to look for the monster, and they said they would kill it. And then they started to sing, hey, wa, hey, wa, hey, hey, wa. Suddenly, the monster came out of nowhere and then just stood in their midst and started to sing for them to dance. They all were hypnotized by the monster, and they started dancing, 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 dancing. After 2 days of dancing non-stop with the monster, they started to fall one by one by one. Then the village was very unhappy. The king of the village said, well, I am going to meet this monster with the magic words given to me by my family, by my parents when they were on the throne. And I will not fall for this monster. I'm going to get rid of it before it finishes my people in the village. So the king got dressed in his magic dress and magic wand, and he had magic words, and he went on to the forest looking for the monster. Then he saw the monster suddenly jumped at him in the forest, and then started saying, dance, 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 dance. But King Adewale will not dance. Instead, he used his magic word and said, I command you, fall down. Ogori, ogori, ilelorinye, malo, malo, I command you. And his magic words worked, and the monster disappeared. And the king went to the village to celebrate. Everybody was drumming and singing happily. And then suddenly a hunter ran out of the forest and said, Your Majesty and my co-villagers, I was lucky to have escaped. All my co-hunters have been killed by this monster just with dancing. It will hypnotize and dance. I was just lucky to have escaped. And then the king said, no, that's not true. I made it disappear already. No, the hunter said, it's still there. It's now dancing right now. About the same time, 2 little boys came out of the forest. They were those twins that they threw in the forest about 14 years before. They are called Tawo and Tawa. And the twins said, we have come. We've come to tell you that we are going to face the monster and make it disappear totally from this village. Everybody first kept quiet. Then they broke out in laughter despite their predicament. They were laughing at them. They said, how can you 2 little boys go and face that terrible monster? And when the king, the warriors, the hunters could not, the boy said, we will go. We have the spirit of twins in us, and we are going to the forest. They took with them lots of food, banana bread, banana, and plantain, yam, many types of food, and lots of water and other things to drink. So they went, the 2 of them went, and they started looking for the monster. Suddenly, it jumped into their midst. But the boys had got ready for it. One of them was hiding behind a tree, and the other one was the one really looking for the monster. He jumped there and he said, dance to that boy. Again, the dance continued. Dance, kokodiko, kokodiko. After dancing and dancing the whole day, the boys quickly exchanged places when they saw the monster not looking at them. When Tawo was eating, Tawa was dancing. When Tawa was dancing, Tawo was eating. That's how they kept switching places and dancing with the monster without the monster recognizing that these were 2 boys. So when they danced for 2 days, 4 days, and 6 days, on the 7th day they realized the monster's eyes had changed into amber, and his legs were not moving again, and he was falling and standing at the same time, and suddenly he fell. And then the boys shouted in joy, and some men who had been trailing them and watching what was happening from top of hills and trees, the men clapped for them, and they came running to take the boys. They took the two of them in triumph back to their village. And then the king stood up and said, "Thank you, my people." All the villagers met at the king's square, and the king thanked them. "Thank you, my people. From today, let nobody throw our twins in the forest, because they don't have magic to harm us. See, they have saved us from the monster. We are going to celebrate this. Where are the royal drummers? Bring out the drums and let us drum and celebrate, because these children have saved us from that horrendous monster." And then the twins were given they were given a royal title, and they were given many gifts, and many people copied them in the village, the way they behave. And from that time onward, twins became part of the village and many other places. And that is the end of the story.